Okay, so whenever we're thinking about our shade words, we're going to use words like pale, light, deep, dark. So whenever we're doing color, we want to also think about the shade of the color. And then also as I'm scrolling through and I notice all these different colors that a chicken egg could be, I also notice that there are some chicken eggs that have spots or freckles in all different shapes and sizes. I might even call them speckles in different colors other than the egg. So what a great opportunity for some more imagery here if I want to have spots on my egg. I can also think about the texture. Is my egg smooth, or is there a certain texture whenever I touch my egg? In the student's writing, I believe that he uses a temperature word, but this is now going to be your writing. So you feel free to take out whatever sentences or descriptions that you don't like and make it your own and change it. So you decide what temperature you want the egg to feel like whenever you touch the egg. As you are doing all of this specific descriptive imagery, I also want you to think about using some of those strategies like flipping your sentences whenever you're doing the critical setting of the chicken coop, the critical object of the egg. And so let's go back to the writing. Now, normally, whenever we do our critical setting and our critical object and our critical character, all of those usually come before the suspense. But in this particular writing, I think it makes more sense to build the suspense to what's coming out of the chicken coop and then reveal to the reader that dun, 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 it's the chicken. And so if that makes sense to you, you can do it this way. If you would rather switch it, this is your writing. Remember, I've given you all of these strategies, but the most important thing is that your writing makes good sense. So you decide what you can do to make your writing the strongest. So you're going to go here to this section. You're going to add suspense. You're going to think about red flag words. You may even do the strategy that we did whenever we watched that video, Rear Window, where we did red flag word, and then a hint of what was coming, and then some description. And then another red flag word and a hint of what was coming, and then some more description or action. And then a third red flag word, a hint of what was coming, and then some more description or action, or really you could even do some thoughts and feelings here. And then finally, after those 3 red flag words and then hints, then you're going to reveal the chicken. And I'm going to link those red flag words in Google Classroom so that you can find those easily whenever you're planning this. Okay, so now we get to the chicken. Whenever I first type into Google chicken, look what comes up. That's not exactly the chicken that I want to be describing. And so I typed in barnyard chicken instead, and all of these things come up. And so I've got a lot of great opportunity to really paint a picture, there's some funny ones, in the mind of my reader of what that chicken that's about to attack me looks like. Now, as I look at this, I see that the chicken has a lot of parts to it, and I'm not sure exactly what these are called. And so I typed that into Google. I typed in parts of a chicken. And now I've got a great opportunity to add in some strong vocabulary because I see that this is called the comb, and I can think about the beak and the eyes. I can think about the wattle right here. I can think about its claws or its thighs or its feathers. Apparently this part is called the back cape, and then the tail. And so as I'm describing this chicken, there's a lot of different parts of it that I can include in my description. So I'm going to think about the color of all of those parts, what it's made out of, the shades, the textures. I'm going to think about some of those wow words whenever I'm thinking about color. So maybe I don't just say the red comb. Maybe I call it the ruby red comb on top of its head. Maybe I call it the cardinal comb. Okay, and this is another great opportunity. We're not just going to say the chicken had a red comb. We're going to flip that around and say the ruby red comb waved as the chicken waddled. So think about flipping those sentences around and having some really strong sentences whenever you're describing however it is that you imagine this chicken in your mind right before that chicken attacks. Okay, so we know what it is that we want to include to make this into a 5 narrative or even a 6 narrative. And so what are you going to do today? Today, you're just going to plan. And then tomorrow, you're going to have this in Google Classroom and you'll add into it. So I would grab a piece of paper and I would divide it into 4 sections. See how I folded my paper into 4 sections? My first section, I wrote critical setting, the chicken coop. And then I put some bullets of the descriptive imagery that I want to describe the chicken coop. Then I've got the critical object, the egg. Then I'm going to build suspense. And then I've got the critical character, the chicken. And I've got some bullets that I can bullet out exactly what I want to describe about the chicken. I'll link this in Google Classroom too if it's easier to see that way. So today, you're just going to grab a piece of paper and you're going to plan out the 4 parts that you want to add in. Then tomorrow, this is going to be linked into Google Classroom. You are going to simply highlight the section that you're going to change. If you'll leave it the color, that's going to make it easier for me to go in and grade and make comments. So I'm going to leave the critical setting blue, and I'm going to type in 2, 3, 4 sentences describing the chicken coop. And then you'll highlight this section, and you'll type in orange your critical description of the critical object of the egg. Then your suspense will be in green, and your critical character of the chicken will be in red. So today, you're going to pull up those images on Google, and you're going to plan out exactly what you're going to write. And then tomorrow, on Wednesday, you'll write it out. Now, if after watching this whole video, you think that this does not sound like an assignment that you're excited about and you would prefer just to write your own reflective narrative, then absolutely do that. Grab the regular graphic organizer, plan out your writing about a time that you achieved a goal. Remember right here, that you were a success at accomplishing a goal. So I'm looking right here at the AMI activities. You can absolutely just do what is already planned for you for day 7 and day 8 of AMI. But if you're getting tired of writing reflective narratives, then maybe this is an alternative assignment that sounds interesting to you. Okay, guys, I'm available for email if you've got any questions. Or maybe we'll plan a Zoom. Okay, thanks guys.